We're about a week away from the Mammoth Sniper Challenge. I have assembled the majority of my gear. I've got it laid out here. We're gonna go through it piece by piece. This is what I'm taking with me.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at that fish.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I tried to do this outside the other day, but my camera overheated in the sun. So we're gonna do it inside, but it's probably a good thing because some of my gear has changed since then. The weather report is getting more and more finalized, and it looks like it's going to snow Saturday morning into the afternoon. So had to alter my gear, had to get a couple other things, drop a couple other things from that video. The most important part of my gear, and I think most of the people are in the same boat, is the clothing. The weapons are the weapons, and the tent is the tent, etc., etc. But we're going to be rucking and then standing around for hours on end, and it's going to be in the 20s in the morning, warming up to around the mid-30s, maybe 40 on Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. But other than that, it's going to be cold. So clothing is the most important part, and that's where we're going to start off. I'm not bringing too much extra clothing at all. I'm really going to put some clothes on Friday morning and not change out of them until Sunday afternoon. I'm not doing a lot of on and off. I'm going to be using a Under Armour Micro G boot. I have used these in the Patriot games for years and years and years, and they're a good boot and they are comfortable, well broken in. I shouldn't have any problem rucking. I've run miles and miles and miles in those without any issue. Just a standard pair of underwear. And then I've got some darn tough mid-weight full cushion socks. And these are gonna be what I wear during the rucking. And one of the extra pieces of clothing that I have is a heavyweight pair of socks. So the idea is when I'm done rucking, I will change into these for when we are just sitting around doing nothing. It's a heavier sock that I don't necessarily need while I'm rucking, but I want to have while I'm dormant. I've got a pair of thermals that are going to go on the bottom. Not quite sure if I'm going to ruck in these. It might be too hot, but I essentially have 3 layers for my lower and a bunch of layers on the top. I don't know exactly how many. So just a pair of smart wool thermals. And then we've got a pair of fleece lined soft shell pants. And these are definitely going to be a bit more insulated than the other pants that I was going to be wearing. I just got these off of Amazon. I had ordered the wrong size, so they just came yesterday, and they are certainly warm enough, and that is what it's going to be on my bottom. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to wear on the top yet. This is what I wore at the last Mammoth. It dries super fast, and it's just a smart wool, mid-weight, hooded merino wool shirt. And I'll probably bring a thermal top with me as well. Then this is my main layer. This is what I wear skiing. This is a Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer down jacket with a hood. I've slept in this on Appalachian Trail, and it is very, very warm. So down hoodie. And then, hold please. Because the weather is going to be how it is, I'm going to bring my ski jacket. It's just a shell, and I know that I wear this down into the teens and the 20s on the slopes, and it is warm enough. It's a Black Diamond Recon. It's got a lot of stretch. It's got, you know, pit zips and everything, so I could wear this open while rucking and still have plenty of ventilation to kind of vent and not sweat too much. So that's basically the clothing that I'm going to be wearing. I'll take some of it off for rucking. I don't know what yet. The rucks in the afternoon will definitely be warmer than the rucks in the morning. With that said, we're going to move on just a little bit. I might bring a merino wool t-shirt. Not quite sure. I'm not sure if I want to bring that extra weight. I'm going to bring one extra pair of socks in case they are really wet or whatever. I saw so many people drop out in April because of their feet. So we're definitely going to bring an extra pair of socks, and just in case I shit my pants, an extra pair of underwear. Up on top, I just got a merino wool neck gaiter. It's a little bit longer, so it'll come up over my nose and onto my cheeks. And then I have a fleece-lined beanie for when we're just sitting around doing nothing. So this combo will definitely keep me warm. I'm going to try and shoot in the Vortex hat that I got in April, and then I will be wearing just a regular pair of sunglasses. I said that I'm going to have 3 layers for the bottom. This is just a rain pant that I've got from Z-Packs. Packs up pretty small. This one weighs 3 ounces, so I'll probably bring this. Maybe the soft shell pants will be too hot to ruck in, so I can use the thermals and these, or I can just ruck in these. I don't know. I've got a lot of options, and being that these weigh so little, you know, I could wear these around camp, whatever. These are not negotiable. I will bring those. What's up in the air are the gloves. I bought some fingerless gloves in case it's too cold to not wear gloves while I'm shooting. I'll wear those. And then these are also from Z-Packs. These are over mitts, so you can put these on and then get a little bit of insulation or save from some moisture if stuff is wet, just to help retain some of that heat. And when I go to the range for check-in, I'm going to see how this works, and if it just doesn't work, if it just doesn't keep my hands warm, these are my ski gloves that I got for this year. They're Kinko, but they're 10 ounces, so I'm really not going to bring these unless I absolutely have to. But they are super warm. It's a mitt. It's fleece lined on the inside, so these will take me down to below 0 if need be. So that's what I'm bringing for clothing, except for a thermal top. This is a great way to double check that you have all your gear. I'll let us move on. Some of the less sexier things in a gear list are like toiletries, electronics, cook set, stuff like that. Small toiletry kit. I've got, this is basically the same from Mammoth 2. I've got Q-tips and a dental pick. I've got a small toothpaste, a collapsible toothbrush, some Body Glide, very underestimated piece of gear. Can turn a bad time into a better time. And then just a little bit of sunscreen, especially if there's snow on the ground, snow bouncing off of, or the light bouncing off of the snow, you get a wicked sunburn. Some moleskin, some aspirin, Tylenol, Aleve, and Benadryl, and some Band-Aids. If you need a higher level of care, we're on a base, and I think I read in the rules that if you do require a higher level of care, you have to drop out. So nevertheless, pretty simple stuff. And then I have to actually replace this. At Mammoth last year in January, they said that the porta potties ran out of toilet paper. So I've got some toilet paper, which I'll need to probably replace or add to. And then I've got some dude wipes. Since we're not going to sweat as much, I might pare this down, but these things only weigh 8 grams a piece, so I might just keep it as is. It all adds up. You know, you have 8 grams a piece. If you take 3, that's, you know, an ounce, or 4, that's an ounce. So, you know, you can't get too carried away with, oh, it doesn't weigh much, because it adds up. I'm going to bring a bunch of hot hands. This isn't all of them, but my plan is to crack a pair in the morning when I wake up. We'll do a pair mid-morning or mid-afternoon, early afternoon, and then at night for sleeping. So I'll bring a bunch of hot hands. I'll probably bring 2 pair. Electronics, I really want to try and record more. So I have a battery, I have earbuds, these are my shooting. These are Axel X cores. This is just a 10,000 milliamp battery. I've got a night core headlamp. We're not going to be doing too much in the dark, except around camp and then packing up in the morning. We shouldn't be hiking in the dark. It should be getting fairly light. I've got one USB-C cord, and then this is a Flex Tail 1.2 ounce pump. This with the battery weighs 2 ounces. It's going to pump up my sleeping pad at the end of the night, and it's just something that I don't want to have to do. I was going to take these Bose earbuds for the rucking, but I just bought the Insta360 Go. I want to record more during the shooting stages. So it comes with a hat clip, and I'm going, this piece pops out and will attach to here, and then you can attach it to your hat, and then it's basically out of the way, and I just want to record more during the shooting stages. So I might substitute this for that. We shall see. I'm going to bring it all with me. I'll make a final decision the night before. And that is recording, and we don't need to. How about that? So that does it for electronics. My phone is a Samsung S23 Ultra in an OtterBox. Obviously, that's not negotiable. Moving along, food. My food bin. So the mistake I made in Mammoth 2 last year in April was I brought a lot of moisture-dense foods. Now, one that's going to play a part in the temperature this year, because if you've been skiing with a Cliff Bar, you know that being outside, the Cliff Bars will freeze, and then they are very difficult to chew. So I'm really doing dehydrated only foods. I'm not bringing any snacks really. I'm going to bring a couple of applesauces for the rucks to make sure I don't, or if I cramp up, I can take the applesauce. The sugar should go to the muscles, and then all the potassium and stuff like that. But and then just a little bit of jerky that's very thinly sliced and not gonna freeze. So this is my cook set. It's an MSR Titan. It's like 800, 900 milliliters. That's what I'm gonna use to boil water. I have a Tokes cup for coffee. I got a brand new isobutane gas can, BRS stove, mini Bic lighter, hot lips so I don't burn my lips on the titanium, and then a little bit of scrub pad. That weighs a couple of grams. I'll bring that even though I'm not really like cooking anything. That all fits together in here. I can use this as a pot holder, or I can use the gloves. And this whole cook set, excluding the gas can, because that's a consumable, it weighs about 9.5 ounces. And then we have an extra large Sea to Summit spoon. Like I mentioned, we're just doing dehydrated meals. Peak Refuel. I tried this one. It was absolutely delicious. And then we just have a bunch of those. It's really tough. You have to kind of force yourself to eat, especially in the winter. You need a little bit higher calorie count because your body needs to generate the heat. You need the fuel, you need the calories. So I probably have a little bit extra food, but it's all dehydrated. My food bag is going to weigh about 3 to 4 pounds less than it did in April because it's all dehydrated. So moving on to the camping gear. Equally as important as the clothing that you wear during the day to stay warm, you need good gear at night to stay warm. Chemical properties, chemical principles, you do not get cold, you simply lose heat. Heat will transfer from your body to the ground unless you have a barrier in between. That's where my 2 pads, I'm going with 2 pads. This is a closed cell foam pad, and this will serve multiple purposes. One, I can leave it folded up like this, and I can sit on it during the day, so I'm not sitting directly against the ground. I can open it up and take a nap if need be, and be warm. Not lose my heat to the ground during the day. And then at night, this will go underneath my sleeping pad to prevent that heat loss, that heat transfer, and keep me warm. I got a Sea to Summit Ether Light XT. This has an R value of close to 7. Not quite, but it's a beefy pad. It weighs 2 pounds. It's a pound heavier than my regular pad, but this will also prevent that heat loss and help keep me warmer at night. This is a sleeping quilt, and it's so when you compress down, it doesn't insulate at all. So I have quilts, I don't have sleeping bags. This is a 20-degree bag. It's long and wide so that I can pull it up over my head. It has a nice foot box so that my feet won't fly out, and it's pretty warm. I've used this. I used that on the Appalachian Trail, I think, or I used it. I don't remember when I used it, but I used it. And then this is another new item. These are down booties from Goose Feet Gear. So at night, I'm going to put these on. They're not meant for walking around camp. They're meant for in your tent. And I'll put these on at night when I climb in for the night. And those should help keep my feet warm, along with putting some hot hands over my femoral arteries so that it'll kind of warm the blood as I sleep, the blood traveling through my body, because your femoral arteries are pretty close to the skin. I've got an Aeros down pillow from Sea to Summit again. It has pillow lock. If you've been camping before, you know how your pillow will fly all over the place. This has a Velcro, essentially, that will keep that pillow in place. The bag is an Osprey Exos 58. Carried it in Mammoth 2 last year. It held the weight well. A little bit heavier load this year, but it should still be fairly similar. PT belt is mandatory. It was a good bag. I enjoyed it. And then the tent is a Big Agnes Rattlesnake SL3. It's a 3-person tent. My partner and I are going to share it, and it's going to come out to a little less than 3 pounds a piece. I have a pack cover. It's only 1.5 ounces in case it rains or snows. I'll bring it with me. I'll make a final determination on Thursday. So that does it for the camping gear. I've got a pair of carbon fiber trekking poles that I got from Bass Pro Shops, and that does it for everything except the shooting gear. So if you're doing this competition and you didn't make a spreadsheet, I feel sorry for you. So let's get into the shooting gear. Before we get into the shooting gear, I forgot one thing. Yak tracks. In case the terrain is super muddy, in case the forecast calls for more snow, I'm going to bring these with me, make a final determination on Thursday. So yak tracks, just for some more traction. I don't want to fall. I don't want to ruin my rifle. I don't want to break a hip, etc., etc. So moving on to the shooting gear. Everybody wants to know about the rifle, and I'm going with a custom 6GT built from the guys, or by the guys at GCP Rifle Co. in Venice, Florida. Vision Pro chassis, Impact 737R, 24-inch barrel, Leupold 5-25 Mark V with a tremor through reticle, Impact 4000, Area 419, optic mount. But the piece de resistance, what I really love is the folder. So this is going to keep the weight a little bit lower. It's not going to be so high sticking out of the pack, and makes it just a bunch more compact, makes it a lot better to carry. It's heavy. It's 18.5 pounds thereabouts, and I went with a 12.5 pound 6.5 Creedmoor gas gun, and that setup that I had was too light. This one, I just went to the range yesterday to confirm my zero. I shot a playing card in half sideways, or not in half, but I hit a playing card sideways. So this thing is very, very accurate, and I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. Two Vets tripod. The kit weighs about 5 pounds, 44 millimeter ball head on the top, Area 419 Arca clamp up there. Yeah, that's basically self-explanatory. It's a tripod. Sun and Shadow armband. I need to fill it out. I've got a big printout of my dope. I just need to transfer it to the cards. It's going to go on my left arm. These are just some Dyneema packs to hold the ammunition. I'm not going to carry them in the boxes. You can't collect the brass, so that's a lot lighter. I'm going to take 120 rounds of 6GT, factory ammo, nothing special. I get 29 feet per second, and I can shoot 5 rounds through the same hole. The rifle is very accurate. Any limiting factors are my own. But I'm not going to shoot 140 rounds as a suggested round count. It's my partner's first competition of this kind, and that 5.5 minutes goes by pretty fast. So I'm not going to bring an extra box of ammo that I probably won't shoot. MDT AICS mags, I've got 2 of these, and there's no sense cheaping out in going with a Magpul mag that weighs less. These are the best. So they're 12 round mags. They weigh about 8 ounces a piece. They are freaking heavy. P320, it's an X5 Legion, and I use this in competition. I have an X300 on here, but I don't need to bring that for this competition, so I took it off. I shoot really well with this. Maybe in the future I will get something that's a little bit lighter, but I used this in the other Mammoth competition. It worked very well. And the reason why I use this bino harness is because I have the Vortex Furies. Those are 3 pounds. This is 3 pounds. I put my pistol ammo in this pouch, which I ordered some 124 grain Federal Syntech. It did not get here in time, so I'll bring regular 124 grain. I might stop at the Palmetto State Armory store in Savannah on my way up and see if they have it. I don't know, whatever. And then I got the hand warmer for this time around. It's got a pouch here that you can put some hand warmers in, and then this is all fleece lined in here. So when I'm sitting around doing nothing, this is on my chest, and I'll be able to put my hands in here and keep them warm. I have a pen, a Right in the Rain pen on the side, and we will drop this down. And then there's supposed to be 2 of these. I'll have to find the other mag. I've got 2 of these 17 round mags, and then just a Right in the Rain notebook. I'm going to write some of the pre-stage stuff out: primary rifle, primary pistol, secondary rifle, secondary pistol, just so that I don't have to do it while we're listening to the stage brief. I can focus on what they're saying instead of writing those things that you can really write in advance. So this is a 5x7. I used a 3x5. I'm left-handed, so having a slightly larger pad would be better than the last time. I was kind of like writing on the magazine for some structure because it was so small. I got a 4x6, but I'm probably going to go with the 5x7 for now. So that's going to do it for all of my gear for Mammoth. My loadout is probably going to be without food and fuel and what I'm wearing. It's like 40, somewhere in that 45 to 50 pound range. I'm going to post this video on Wednesday. I'm leaving on tomorrow. I'm leaving Wednesday, and then I'll do a final weigh on Thursday. So I'll wind up putting my final weight probably down in the comments of what I'm stepping off at. So yeah, that's going to do it. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I don't want to be cold. My partner and I've competed against him in the Patriot Games before. I've competed against him in the Patriot Games before. He's a good competitor. He's a good shooter. He's a good human being, and it's his first competition. I'm looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it, and that's going to do it for this one. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next video.